Miguel Connor, the host of Aeon Byte Gnostic Radio, often opens his show with the phrase, "Write your own gospel and live your own myth," which is, in my opinion, the very embodiment of what Gnosticism is. That small sentence has packed within it so much wisdom that when applied, it has the ability to cause spontaneous gnosis in a seeker. It promotes the same idea that Christ Yeshua taught, that being we are all joint heirs with him. We who are in Christ are Christ. We are not second fiddle bit players in the cosmic shadow of a carpenter's son the religionists try to sell us, but the stars of the show. We have every bit of the authority and ability to loose or bind the heavens he exhibited while incarnated here, which means we too serve as the logos, narrative instruments for the monad itself, more than capable of being the authors and finishers of our own particular faith, exactly as Miguel Connor beautifully puts it. Therefore, in 2017, I disposed of Yaldabaoth myself. I did away with the Demiurge and a majority of his archons around the time of the eclipse with little more than a blank composition book and a couple of Bic ballpoint pens. Not only did I find the job of writing that narrative for my experience thoroughly gratifying, but hilariously easy. With one completed journal utilizing a few rituals, altar work, and the implementation of Carl Jung's active imagination, your humble author, narrator, and fictional character brought down the Lucia harvesting empire of the blind god, who shortly thereafter surrendered himself up to the aeons to get his celestial whipping in the woodshed of the galactic wormhole out back. His trial went as you would imagine it would go for a megalomaniacal entity parading around as the Most High, reigning over a creation he built on pain, suffering, and slavery, perpetually forcing the sparks of Sophia to reincarnate over and over to power his throne with Lucia. Not too well for him. Not with all that heavy, dense, negative karma he had accumulated by his very own nature, while running a planet so filled with heartache and woe, it was enough to move the aeons to come down on him in judgment. Then he was sentenced. Then he was no more. The system he left behind running on autopilot, a car speeding down the freeway, whose driver had been raptured off, but not in a good way. Its very inertia would keep it running for a while, but ultimately the second law of thermodynamics was going to force the destruction of the simulation he made. In the interim was a vacuum of power throughout the spheres, just begging to be filled. But we shall get to that in time. At this juncture, you may be saying to yourself, "But author, narrator, and fictional character, surely you are not saying that by means of writing a narrative for yourself, where the ancient hierarchy of Yaldabaoth ceased to exist, this actually changed the Gnostic cosmology that hasn't evolved since the Nag Hammadi library was so carefully tucked away, are you?" To which I would respond, who cares? So long as that narrative I have the authority to pen by way of gnosis changed the cosmology for me, because it did. And you, as a pneumatic, have the sovereignty to enter into that narrative as well, which is what makes Gnosticism so fun to begin with.
For the full transmission, including exclusive articles, videos, podcasts, and commentary you won't find on social media, visit downloadedcontent.com. While you're there, be sure to join the DLC newsletter so you never miss new releases, exclusive content, or future transmissions. And if you're fascinated by the mysteries of Genesis 6, the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the Book of Enoch, be sure to check out Then Came the Flood by Daniel Louis Crumpton, a novel that reimagines the world before the flood and brings one of humanity's oldest mysteries to life. Available now wherever books are sold. Downloadedcontent.com, where pneumatics go to play. This episode of Downloaded Content is proudly sponsored by CanaSense Total Wellness. If you're 21 or older, CanaSense offers free membership, 25% off your first order, premium hemp-derived wellness products, and nationwide shipping delivered directly to your door. Joining takes just minutes at canasense.com. CanaSense is committed to making wellness simple, affordable, and accessible. Veterans and cancer survivors may qualify for additional discounts, and our team is always available to help you find the products that best fit your needs. Use Downloaded Content as your sponsor when joining free and get 25% off your first order. Visit canasense.com or call 1-833-633-4208 to get started today. CanaSense Total Wellness. Full spectrum wellness shipped nationwide.